So, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This might be one of the very first Monday Night Raws I've ever watched that didn't have a singles women's match on it. This Raw had no women's match, which is very interesting because this show was 90% matches and 5% backstage promos and 5% outside in the ring promos. There was barely no promos. It was basically all matches, which again, that's okay. It's okay. Matches, yeah, it's fine. Right, having a lot of matches, it's good. You want to you want to see a wrestling show have matches, but you also want to see promos. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you would call a filler episode. This Monday Night Raw was a filler episode. Nothing happened. It also doesn't help that Roman wasn't there to help, build the storyline with, Seth Rollins. But, yeah, this Monday Night Raw started off with The Vision taking on Dragon Lee and Javon Evans. Of course, Javon Evans and Dragon Lee lost to The Vision. And then, of course, right after The Vision won, Austin Theory started attacking Dragon Lee and Javon Evans. But, of course, Alpha Academy had to help out since, they're in a feud now with The Vision. They can't help out. It looked like Alpha Academy had the upper hand, even when Maxine Dupree unprovokingly smacked Otis, but it's fine. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't stop them there. Did not stop them there whatsoever. Did not stop them there whatsoever. Because we see The Vision on the outside. Otis about to run after do all that stuff, attacking them on the outside. Then Braun Breaker slides to the outside and spears Otis. And oh my god, it looked like Otis. It looks like one of those bumps you take. That it looks like one of those stiff bumps that like all the oxygen in your body leaves you, and you're like, I can't breathe. That's the bump that Otis took when he took the spear. The bump that Otis took when he took the spear on the outside of the ring looked like it was was just a big solid thud, and there was like no bounce back, just a big solid thud that all the air in your body just left you. It was like, and then they throw Otis back inside the ring, another spear, and then they just hold up the titles, and they're continuing this. Maxine Dupree betrayed Alpha Academy and is going with Austin Theory. By the way, I just need a comment on what Austin Theory said last week about Otis, saying Otis can't pull anything. Buddy, did you forget that Otis pulled Mandy Rose? This man Otis pulled Mandy Rose. I'm not going to say that there's a competition, but I already think Otis won. Theory. I think Otis is already a better Rizzler than you, Austin. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much competition there, man. There's not competition whatsoever. We already know that you're just jealous that Otis got Mandy Rose and you didn't get Mandy Rose. I'm just saying. Anyway, we see the return of Joe Hendry to the WWE television. I don't know where he's been, but he's returned to help Danhausen. Now we get Hendryhausen. But Danhausen was being threatened backstage by the Judgment Day wanting their human monies back. So Danhausen went down to the ring with a briefcase of the human monies, and he says that he doesn't want the Judgment Day to have the human monies. So he's going to give it to the Danhausens. He's going to give the human monies to the Danhausens. Then Judgment Day comes out and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You're giving us the money back. We're not giving it to these scumbags here in Detroit." And they get in the ring, and Danhausen says, "You are cursed." Tries to run out of the ring. JD and Dom pull him in the ring, start beating him up, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, we hear, "Say his name, and he appears." And then we see Joe Hendry run down to the ring, help Danhausen beat up Dominic and JD. But, sadly, JD McDonough stole the Human Money's briefcase, and he took it backstage with the Judgment Day. And then all of a sudden, we see, Joe Hendry help Danhausen up and, get all that stuff. Then we go backstage, and we see Judgment Day arguing with Danhausen, and Joe Hendry with, Adam Pearce in the middle trying to hold them two back from each other. JD McDonough opens up the briefcase expecting to see Human Monies, but he doesn't see Human Monies. You know what he sees? Fake Human Money. He takes fake Human Money with Danhausen's face on it. He threw the bag out, and he threw it to the wrong person, because the person he threw the bag of money at was Oba Femi. This man accidentally threw the bag of money to Oba Femi, which Oba Femi was mad and said, "Who threw this?" And JD McDonough says, "Oh, it was Danhausen's." And Oba was like, "Danhausen?" And Danhausen's like, "He threw it." And JD was like, "Snitch." And Oba says, "Now I have to kill you, you know that?" And I'm like, "Oba, bro, you don't have to kill people that throw bags of money at you." Like, bro, slow down. Anyway, they have a match where we absolutely see JD McDonough get absolutely obliterated by this man, Oba Femi. This man, Oba Femi, literally destroyed this man's soul, giving them uppercuts, European specials, and European uppercuts. Threw him, shot put this man 12 feet in the air, and then hits him with the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi wins the match. So congratulations, Oba Femi, because I literally bet 200,000 Santi Zap channel points on his Twitch that Oba Femi would win, and I was low-key scared that he was going to lose, because then I only have 14,000 channel points on Santi Zap's Twitch. It wouldn't have been good for me, you know what I'm saying? I'd have lost money, which, I don't like to lose money. So, yeah. Anyway, we saw Ethan Page and Rusev take on Penta and Chad Gable, and I won't lie, it was a pretty solid match where we did see who picked up the W again? Oh yeah, we saw Chad Gable tap out Rusev using the ankle lock, and yeah, we saw the bad guys lose to the good guys, and we are continuing to build up Penta versus Chad Gable, SummerSlam for the IC Championship. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun match. Congratulations to them. But then, as we saw Joe Hendry take on Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan was kind of distracting the referee and, distracting Joe Hendry to help, Dominic get the upper hand, because, that's what the Judgment Day do. They love distractions. They love helping their teammates. But then Danhausen comes out, says, "You are," and then Liv Morgan literally just clocks the man straight in the face, which allows Danhausen to run back up to the apron. A few minutes later, comes out in his truck with Io Sky, or Io Sky's doing her emote, where she's, doing the thing, and we see Danhausen do it after he parks the car. And we see Liv Morgan get beat up by Io Sky with the punches to the face and kicks and stuff, and we see Liv Morgan get taken out of the equation with Io and Liv fighting. Then we see Danhausen sneak into the ring while the referee was kind of distracted, trying to break up Io and Liv. And we see Danhausen, sneaky little guy, hit the Triple D, the Danhausen death drop on to Dominic Mysterio to let Joe Hendry pick up the W, and Joe Hendry, with the help of Danhausen, pick up the W. So congratulations, Danhausen, for helping Joe Hendry win the match. Then we finally get our first real promo of the day, where we all of a sudden we see Solo come out and say, "I'm not even supposed to be on this show for real," and he says that he wants Seth Rollins to come out here right now. Seth Rollins comes out, and Solo's like, "I know you can. We know, and we both know that you cannot beat Roman Reigns without some help, because the bloodline is gonna be on standby for when Roman finally calls for the help." And Solo's like, "I know the bloodline like the back of my hand. I know it in the back of my head because I was a part of it. I used to do plays. So come on, let's team up. I can help you beat Roman." And Seth was like, "Okay. I'll listen. Just give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a minute, Solo. Give me a minte to think about it." And Solo's like, "What do you mean a minute? There's nothing a minute to think about. There's nothing a minute to think about. What you were for Cody at WrestleMania 40 to beat Roman Reigns, I'll be for you. Come on, you got this." And all of a sudden we hear, "Ta, boo, ba, va, two." We see Jacob Fatu run down to the ring, and Solo's a little bit scared of Jacob, so he runs out of the ring and says, think about it. And we see Jacob completely miss Seth, try and go after Solo, and he says, "You know what you have to do? You know what you have to do, Solo? You have to kill Seth. You have to do all that stuff. You have to follow the Tribal Chief's orders, Solo." And then as soon as Jacob Fatu gets turned around, he gets hit with a nasty super kick straight to the chin. So, yeah. Then, it was LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, where we do see Jacob Fatu and LA Knight have a pretty solid match. Where it didn't really end well, because then all of a sudden we see Jimmy Uso, in the fray saying, "Yeah, I help, what are you gonna do?" And then all of a sudden we see Solo appear behind Jimmy, where we see Jimmy get hit with a nasty punch to the face, and we see just Jimmy and Solo go at it, all that stuff. And then, after a couple minutes of Solo and Jimmy fighting, Jacob Fatu said, "You know what, I have enough of this. I'm just going to attack you guys." And he just jumped out of the ring, attacking Solo Sikoa out of nowhere, going crazy like that. And then eventually this match gets crazily out of hand, where we see Royce Keys take out Jimmy Uso, and you beat him up a little bit, throwing him against the ring and the announce table, all that stuff, until Jey Uso finally came back after 3 weeks of being away from WWE television, because Jey Uso's obviously not taking his divorce well. I'm joking, by the way, and he takes out Royce Keys out and hitting him with a couple of super kicks to the face, and helping his family, because Jey only cares about family. Well, maybe he can't. Never mind. He only cares about family. And then all of a sudden, after Jey Uso takes out Royce Keys, we see LA Knight run at Jey Uso, dive through the ropes, do that drop kick through the ropes, dive that he does. And by the way, let me just tell you, that move looked nasty. It looked like LA Knight caught Jey Uso straight in the throat. Like, I was like, LA Knight, what do you have against Jey? You look like you just killed Jey Uso. But sadly, the match ended after LA Knight came back in the ring. He got hit with a pop-up Samoan with a mighty moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. Jacob Fatu wins the match. And then you see Solo Sikoa get back in the ring trying to beat up, Jacob. But Jimmy and Jay, they were not having it. And they decided to hit a little super kick combo on Solo and hit a spear on Solo. But Royce Keys jumped in the ring, taking out both the Usos. But then he even hit Jacob Fatu with a nasty spine buster in the middle of the ring. Until the Usos took advantage of Royce Keys and then just attacked all 3 members of the tag team that will be facing up. That will be facing the Bloodline at SummerSlam. And we see all 3 members of the Bloodline raise the one to the sky and, just be victorious and type of stuff. And they raise their fingers to the sky, showing that they are the so dominant force in WWE. So, yeah, that's how Monday Night Raw ended. And again, I'm just going to tell you this. The only thing that's really helped build up, only feuds that got built up were the Dominic Mysterio and Danhausen feud, because that match was announced at SummerSlam. These 6 men's tag team match at SummerSlam that's going to be built up, and then Io and Liv getting built up. That's all the things that got built up on this Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, SummerSlam, not too far away, and I low-key cannot wait. So, yeah. But that was your Monday Night Raw. Put in the comments below what you guys think about it in the comments below. Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.